All right, everybody, it is Ellen again. And as you know, I love to have people who have a spectacular message, a message of empowerment, a message of just, changing the world as we are as ourselves. And Camille, it is just a pleasure to have you here. I have only seen you on Instagram, and I have been so impressed by the reels and the marketing strategies and the things that you put in place. But I also know that there's a backstory to things like this. There's always a journey to this. So I would love it if you just share a bit of your background and we'll get started.
Yay! So I'm Camille Plews. So I help people to build online businesses, but with freedom. So that's my main thing. It's to do with freedom. And the whole backstory behind that is the fact that I've got a family, I've got kids, I'm the primary carer, and I just want to spend as much time as possible with my children. And I know there are so many ways of growing online businesses, and I know that most of them take a lot of time. So the way that I do it, the way that I teach to do it as well means that you can be growing a really successful, profitable business, but in less time. So that's the whole reason why I got into doing what I do and doing the freedom-based strategies. But it wasn't always like this. So I know you mentioned earlier, okay, like what did you do? What got you into
Yeah, what
this?
did you do before? Did you have other jobs? Did you work 9 to 5? How'd this?
Yeah, so I worked in corporate UK for like 15, 16 years in sales and marketing.
Oh,
Lots
wow.
of different industries. I worked in travel, I worked in banking, I worked in property, I worked in all sorts of industries. And I just could never settle. I couldn't find a job that I loved enough to stay there for longer than a couple of years. I was always looking for that next thing and I just got bored easily and couldn't find anything that fulfilled me. So, anyway, when I fell pregnant with Freddie, who's my firstborn, who's now 11, my gosh,
Wow.
pregnant with him. Time
I
flies.
know.
I was then having to go back to work in corporate, and he was always ill as a baby. He always had tonsillitis. He was always ill, like every month. He eventually got his tonsils out on his fourth birthday, bless him. But before that, I was having to put him into daycare, and he was sick all the time. And then I'd have to leave him there, and then go to work, and then just be feeling like I don't want to be here. I was always worried about him. I wanted to like go back and look after him. He'd always be crying, and
Mhm.
it was really tough. So then when I fell pregnant with my little girl, I thought, right, I'm not doing that anymore. I'd already started a bit of a side hustle selling clothes on like eBay and Etsy
Really?
and things like that. Started a little side hustle. I thought, you know what, I'm going to take that full time because I was already making like over £100 a month doing that. And I thought, if I was to take that full time and actually invest the time into it rather than going to work, how much could I take that to? And I thought, you know what, that's my little task for being off on maternity leave with my little girl. I thought, that's what I'm going to focus on. So I did. And I really ramped it up. So when I had my little girl, she was only 4 weeks old and I already replaced my corporate salary and ramped it up massively. My husband converted our garage. It was a garage at the time. He converted it into like this like little mini warehouse. I had all of these like little dockets and clothes and shoes and bags and all sorts that I was selling. So I'd order from like China, all over Europe, Bangladesh. I'd have orders coming in, all these boxes stacked up in the hallway. Anyway, I rapidly outgrew that. I needed this warehouse. So I rented this huge 1,000 square foot warehouse in this industrial estate. And the business was just growing and growing and growing. But then I was stuck in that warehouse all day, every day, packing up
Right. I was going to
orders.
ask that. Yeah.
It's the thing. And then I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done? And I just grew to hate my life again. I thought, what am I doing? I'm spending so much time away from the kids in that warehouse, packing up orders. So then I started to do drop shipping. So I thought, right, I'll just do drop shipping. And then I won't have to be there to process the orders myself. I'll just be more doing it like at home. And yeah, I had a few issues with drop shipping, a few issues with suppliers and not getting things out and then things not being as described. And I was switching supplies all the time. I thought, this is a nightmare. And then
Yeah.
I started doing print on demand as well. I was starting a few different
Oh
things.
my God.
Doing all sorts of things for quite a few years. So 5 years I had that business for doing all of these different things. And then I started doing quite a lot of affiliate marketing. So selling other people's products. And I was spending thousands of pounds on ads a week in doing affiliate marketing, selling other people's stuff, but also getting profits coming back in. And I thought, you know what? I just more so want to move into the digital space rather than having physical products to sell. So I decided to shut down my old warehouse, sell everything off really cheap. What I didn't know at the time, even though I was out of my contract with the warehouse, the landlord wanted 6 months notice and was coming after me for 6 months rent. And I was like, are you joking? I don't have 6 months rent for you. So I had to like put it all on credit cards and loans and things. And I was 40K in debt. Um, oh, it was a hard time, but at the same time, what a journey it's been to get to where I'm at
Yes.
now. So 2019 was when I shut down the warehouse and then started doing social media management for other people, started doing more digital stuff. And yeah, long story short, it then grew into this, and then this just, it just started to grow and develop. And even this business is so different to how it was when I started it in 2019. I was doing loads of one-to-one coaching, and now I've kind of more made it so it's more like I'm helping lots of people at once, but not necessarily
Okay.
doing as much of the one-to-one stuff, and selling lots of digital courses, online, passive stuff, semi-passive, that kind of thing. So I can, again, spend more time with my family, have more freedom and flexibility. And that's what I teach. And that's what I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. I was gonna ask you, like, what were the top priorities that caused you to shift working remote? Because that is what you do, right? You work
Yeah.
remotely, you don't do the in-person. So I know a lot of people who have businesses. I have one. And there's different priorities that cause us to do different things, right?
Yeah.
What were your top priorities that became non-negotiable that you said, I'm not gonna negotiate this?
Yeah. Spending time with family. Always spending time with family. So I only work when the kids are at school. So I don't
Okay.
work when the kids aren't at school. So for me, my huge priority is spending time with family. It's not even necessarily about the money. The money's a byproduct. Yes, the money's great because we can go on all these holidays and do lots of things. We're going to Florida, we're going Spain, we're going all over. But the money, it's just the byproduct of what it is that I do. The main priority for me is freedom and family time.
Freedom and family. Now, would you say that that's what a lot of people are wanting to have, more
Yeah,
freedom?
I think a lot of people
How does it
mask
look?
mask it by money. Yeah, I want the money, I want the money, but what's the money for? Like, what is it for? Yes, we all want money, but the money's only to fund something that you're wanting in your life. Do you like the luxury life? Do you like fancy cars and nice clothes and whatever? Or do you want to spend time with loved ones? Do you want to take them on lots of holidays and, spend lots of time together? Like, what is the money for? And then when you get to the bottom of what the money's for, that's the real reason. And then if you are doing it just for the money, so say, for example, if I cycle back to me having the warehouse, yes, it was a six-figure business. It was bringing in lots of
Mm,
money. It was amazing. But at the same time, I was really miserable and unhappy because I didn't have the freedom and family time. So I had to like really switch it around and think, right, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? And then how can I shape my business around the way I want my life to look? And then, of course, be making money from that to then be able to fund the life that I want.
mm. Wait, is this like a new marketing strategy, or because it feels like I'm hearing this whole new thing about you want to live your best life first, like choose what you want and then create out of that. Is that how
Yeah,
it's
so
always been with marketing, or is this
it's
just
not
people are
well, it's
waking
not
up?
yeah, I think a lot of people just go for the money. Most people go for the money, end up unhappy and miserable, and then quit the business. There was a lady who started actually at the same time as me. We joined this same group program together. It was back in 2019. It was an amazing group program. But anyway, we both joined it at the same time, and her business just seemed to take off straight away. For mine, it was a little bit more slower growth because I
Mm,
wasn't willing to negotiate the time. I wasn't willing to work 10-hour days, 15-hour days, which is at the time what our coach was saying, just put in all of these hours now, put all of these hours in, and then you won't necessarily have to work as many hours in the future. But I was like, no, that's not my priority. The reason why I started this business and the reason why I wanted to take it digital was so that I didn't have to work all of these hours, and I wasn't prepared to. So me, I was working, 4 or 5 hours a day. This other lady who started at the same time of me, who lives just up in Scotland, she was working 10 hours a day, and she had kids as well, and she just burned out. She was having the 20K
right,
months, but she
right.
burned out and she quit on her business. She's now working in corporate again. So it's like, I did not want that to happen. I thought, I'm doing this around the life that I want. As
Yeah,
long as my income was growing and I could see it growing like quarterly and yearly, and which it always does, as long as I could see that pattern, I wasn't, I didn't necessarily go from 0 to 20K months like a lot of others that started at the same time as me. For me, it was a lot slower. So it was like 0, then it was like 5K months, then it got up to 10, and then up to 15, and then eventually 20. But it wasn't straight away. It took quite a while to get to that.
sure, sure. So
But the main thing, the non-negotiable for me was the family time. I wanted the time with my family. I wasn't prepared to sacrifice that to then be putting in all the hours to then be earning more straight away.
right, exactly. No, that totally, oh my God, totally makes sense. So what's the process that you take people through to come to the realization of what it is that they want? Because that can be really hard to nail down.
Yeah. So it's just, yeah, in my very beginning phases. So in my accelerator program, for example, in the beginning phases of that, I've got lessons where I taught people through this exact process. So it's basically asking yourself why, and it's 7 times. You need to ask yourself 7 times the reasons why. So why do you want this business? Whatever the answer is, ask yourself why again. Why again? And when you do it 7 times, and this is a process that Dean Graziosi teaches as well, and that's I got it from him. When you ask this 7 times and go 7 times deep, you get to the real reason why. And it's normally something that's more internal rather than external. So it's more like an internal thing. So whether you know, want to make your parents proud and take your parents traveling and spend as much time with them. Maybe you've got a parent who's really ill, or maybe you've got a child who's ill, or whatever it is. You get to the real root of the reason why you are doing this in the first place. And when you can get to the real root of that, that is what you need to shape your business around. So if it's more like, right, I want to go traveling with my family, I want to see the world, I want to do all these things. Okay, well, if you're working with, say, 50 clients one-to-one every week and you're always on Zoom calls, you're not going to be able to do that. So that's like unrealistic. So let's shape your business around the life that you want. And then some people have said to me, you know what, I want the kind of thing that you're doing. I want to only work when the kids are at school. Okay, well, let's cap your one-to-one clients then at maybe like 7 maximum. And that can be our premium end. And let's work on the semi-passive and the passive offers in between. You know, you can have things like group programs, memberships. The membership model is phenomenal. You can have passive courses, things like that, that mean that it's very semi-passive, it's very flexible, and you can live the life that you want and still be there to give a great service to your clients who are in your offers that are more passive and semi-passive.
Wow. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna start to ask myself the 7 questions. The
Yeah.
7 why, like 7 times. That's incredible. So now I know we're talking a lot in a short period of time, because I know that you've done a whole lot, but is building a business, because you can see it online a lot. Okay. You can see like in 1 month, you're going to be making this amount and this amount and this amount. Can we talk a little bit to that? Because I can say that it doesn't happen for me that way personally as a business owner. But that doesn't mean that I'm less than or somebody's less than because they don't have that. Can you talk
Yeah.
a little bit about this like quick, fast thing I see a lot?
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, it all depends on the person. There's no, like, I'll get asked all the time, oh, if I come into your program, can you guarantee I'll be on a 10K a month by week 8? No, I can never guarantee that. Nobody can, because everybody's circumstances are different. What's like some people's experience is different. Some people will already have marketing experience, some people won't. Some people will have like fear of showing up as well and not
Sure.
putting themselves out there, not wanting to get visible. So there's all of that to work through before you can then start to market yourself properly and all of that. There's everyone's at different stages of their life and their business. So oftentimes when people say to me like, oh, can you guarantee this? No, I can't guarantee anyone. So I've had clients who've come in and done it and like literally gone straight away and like earn more money than me, like within a very short space of time. And that's fantastic. That's brilliant. And I'm like, amazing. But at the same time, I've also had clients who've come and it's been a lot slower. And it's like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I get anybody? And it's like, right, okay, let's dig deeper here. It's not anything that's wrong with you, but maybe it's the way that you're showing up. Oh, okay, you haven't been showing up. You haven't been posting consistently. What's going on there? Oh, I don't like to do this. Okay, let's get to the root of the reasons why. So it's not linear. It's not like you can't guarantee that someone's going to get results in X amount of time, because it depends on their background and it depends on what
Mm,
they've done. You know, I can share things, and I quite rightly do. I share things like my client got to this in this amount of time, because a lot of my clients will, and I'll share their story. But at the same time, I will never ever guarantee that everybody can do that, because everyone's different and everyone's life is different. Everyone's commitments outside of their business are different. Everyone's view on the world is different. So yeah,
mm.
it's different for everyone. But I think that, cycling back to what you're saying there, I think that there's a lot of messaging online now that says, I'm going to guarantee that you'll get this and this. And it's
Yeah,
just,
they use the word. They say guarantee.
you can't guarantee. We're working with people.
Right.
Things can happen as well. Like life can get in the way sometimes. You
Yeah.
know, I've had it as well where people have had, you know, serious issues with children or illnesses that have come up, like real bad illnesses and all sorts of things. Like I work with women every day who've got really, you know, chronic illnesses and things that are going on with them. And sometimes they can't show up for the business that week. And that's fine. That is absolutely fine. And let's normalize this. Like nobody is going to have the exact same growth as somebody else. It's like, as long as you keep taking those steps weekly, and even if you do have to take a step back for a week, if you're really ill, or if you're like, I just can't show up this week, my energy's on the floor, I'm ill, I've got this chronic illness, that's fine.
Yeah.
But just know that, you know what, when you're feeling a little bit better, you can pick it up and you can still keep taking those steps. It's not There's no pressure as long as you keep moving forward and doing it, and you know that, you know what, and understand that, you know what, I've got this chronic illness, and I've got chronic illnesses as well. I've got this illness, and it does sometimes stop me from doing the things that I want to do, and it stops me from showing up. But you know what? I am being kind to myself. I love
Mm,
myself for doing this. I'm showing up anyway. I'm doing so much more than the majority of the world are doing, because here's the thing. Most people just sit on their ideas and don't even take action at
I
all.
know. Yes.
So as long as you're taking action, no matter how fast or slow, you're still going to get there.
Yes. Yes. So do you primarily work with women or do you
Yeah.
have both?
It's mostly women. I've got one male client at the minute who's one-to-one, but apart from that, it's all women.
Why women? Why did you choose women?
Because I feel like women need nurturing in a different way. And I feel like we've always had a bit of a rough ride with regards to the way that we're perceived in the online space as well as in the workspace. I remember working in corporate, it was always the men that would be taken seriously, and it was. And I feel like women have had such a rough ride, and we've got so many like underneath things that need to be kind of healed, if you like, before
Mm,
then like really pushing forward with our business. So like I am NLP qualified as well. So I'm an NLP practitioner. So what I'll do is I'll guide my clients through certain shifts that they can take themselves. And I can see things when it's happening. I can point things out and think, okay, you haven't showed up and you're saying it's because of that, but I really feel like it might be because of this. And then we can really get to the root cause of the reasons why, and then start to flip it and shift it and be like, right, okay, let's turn this on its head. What if this is going to happen? What if it's going to be the most amazing thing? Like, stop living in the fear over here and start living in the dream over here, and then things will start to really, take form.
I know we talk a lot about fear, how it can hold people back. What do you say to fear of success? Because fear of
Fear
success
of
is an
success.
interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just the unknown. There's so many times where people will start to really grow. I get this often. So in the accelerator, people will really start to grow their business and then they'll pull back. I don't know why I'm pulling back. It's like, okay, what are you scared of? If your business really starts to grow and take off and you're making all of this money, and a lot of the time it can be even just things like earning more money than the partner, and maybe their partner feeling inferior,
Mm,
or it could be the fact that the family dynamic's going to change. People might say things about them. People might expect things from them. People might expect them to pay for their holidays. And all of these other fears can come up where it's fear of succeeding. And it's the fear of, all of it's just the fear of unknown. But at the end of the day, it's what I always say to people is, right, okay, you've got this fear that builds up in your mind, whether it's fear of failure or fear of success. Whatever it is that you're building up, is that even true? Because if it's not true, if it's not happened, then it's not true. So let's just push past this. Let's just move forward. Let's take what's our reality right now and move forward with it.
yes. Oh my gosh. So is it subconscious beliefs that people have that are creating these fears or creating different things? Does it come from the way they're raised, their family patterns? I mean my parents are, in their 80s, 90s. I mean, there's a whole totally different view of money that I was raised around.
Yeah.
And especially well, I have religious upbringing, so there's a whole different view that came with that with money. So what
Yeah.
is it generational? Is it like
I think it's a mixture of everything. Yeah, generational upbringing, even just seeing things on the TV where it could be that a
yes.
woman's outperforming like her partner, and then she will, lose the partner, and everything will break down, and certain things like that. Like, it can just be TV programs, it can be, stuff on social media. Like, everything's just out there now, isn't it? Everyone's so aware of the world through social media, through Netflix and whatever, all of these documentaries, and people losing everything because they got successful, and people seeing money as being evil, because if you've got lots of money, that means you're working all the time. You don't have to be. That's not what this is about. It's about building your business in a way that works for you and your family, but at the same time, not being scared of success, but be more open to all of the benefits that success can bring, like all of the nice things that you can have, the holidays, the like whatever it is. Like, some people love the luxury things, like nice big
Mm.
cars and things like that, or some people prefer luxury holidays or handbags or Louis Vuitton shoes or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily into luxury stuff. Like, I love the camping life. Like, we're always out in the
Oh
mud. We
yeah, I'm
just,
with you. Yeah.
yeah, full on mud. It was like, oh gosh, the campsite the weekend, it was like Glastonbury. It was so muddy.
Oh,
But it was fine. We went on long walks through fields, almost losing wellies and all sorts, but it was great. You know, when your welly gets stuck in the mud.
oh yeah, totally. I do.
That's us. Like, I love that kind of a life. I love, oh, the great outdoors. Love it so much. But at the
Wow.
same time, you know what? We love our nice holidays, going to Florida and, you know, doing all the different things as well. So it's what you want. Don't look at somebody else's life and think, oh, well, if I get successful, maybe I have to live like that. You don't have to live like anything. You live
No.
how you want to live.
Yes. So when you look at money, is money just a tool for you? How
Yeah,
do you
money's a
view money? What
byproduct.
is money?
Money's a byproduct. So for me, I'm always looking at my life now and just being grateful every day for everything that I have. So even if I lost all of the money now and everything, and I had to start again from scratch, I'm just so grateful for what I've got already and what I've got right now. So the money is just a byproduct of what it is that we are doing. Like, I love just showing up and helping people. And I know that sounds cheesy. It sounds so cheesy. But but just the money's a byproduct of that. Like, I could talk about what I do all day. I could talk to people about systems, about, you know, growing your business, about creating courses, about doing things passively. I could talk about this all day long and not get bored. And it's, yeah, the money's a byproduct of that.
So that's not your goal then. It's not the
My
end goal.
goal's not the money. My goal is more the lifestyle that I want. So right now, pinned on my vision board, I have got a lovely holiday home in Italy that I am bringing, manifesting into my
Yes.
world. It's on my
Yes.
5-year plan. It's happening. I'm already making the steps towards it. And I also want it to be my own retreat villa as well. So I host retreats every year, and I want that to be my retreat villa and also a holiday home, like a combination. And it's not like, oh, I wish I could have. It's like, I know it's happening. I'm
Wow.
not attaching too tight timelines against it, because I've found in the past, if I attach a timeline against things, it's always 9 times out of 10, it happens a little bit like longer than what I anticipate. Sometimes things happen sooner, sometimes it's not as quick, but at the same time, I'm not willing to negotiate me working lots of hours to bring more things into my existence. I'm just like, I know it's happening. I know it's happening. I've got it on my 5-year plan, whether it takes 6 or 7 years. I'm cool with that, but it's on my 5-year plan.
Wow. So what is a vision board? I have a vision board. I do them. But
Yeah.
sometimes people don't know what that is. So what is it?
Yeah, so I like to what I pin on. I mean, some people have different ways of doing them. What I like to pin on my board is things that I'm already grateful for. Like, I'll have like beach holidays, things that I'm already going to be doing and that I know that I'm doing anywhere, that I'm looking forward to, that I can get excited about every day. So I'll have like Disney World on there. I'm already going. We're already booked. We're already going anywhere, of course. And Universal Studios. Oh, we love Harry Potter so much. So we've got Universal. So I've got them things on my vision board. That's already done, but I'm still it gets me excited every day. So whenever I look at my vision board and I feel into it and I'm like, oh, the excited feelings, that raises your vibration, that makes you more, oh, magnifying, it just raises everything. And whenever I look at my vision board, it makes me excited. And when you get more excited, when you can raise your vibration, then you show up in a much different way. You get more done as well in less time. And it just, oh, magnetizes people to you, all that kind of thing. And I'll also have on my vision board, like this holiday home in Italy and different things that I'm wanting. So earlier on this year, I think it was like January, sorry, not this year, last January, I had this new car on my vision board, this car that I thought, you know what, I really want a new car. I want
Mm.
it to be bigger than the one that I've got, and I want this type of car. Anyway, I'm not all for luxury and things, but I wanted a new Tiguan. That's what I wanted, a new
Okay.
VW Tiguan. I thought
Sure.
it's perfect for going up to the campsite because it's a 4x4, and I wanted to have, you know, bigger wheels, but I loved my VW. I used to drive a little Golf GTI. I loved it so much, but I
Yes.
wanted it to be bigger. I thought I need something bigger for the dog, the kids, the camping life and everything. So I had this same, it was like a grey, beautiful Tiguan on my vision board. And I thought, that's what I want. It had the silver trim and the right type of wheels and everything. Anyway, so I pinned that on my vision board, and that's what I started looking for. And I thought, I'll treat myself to a birthday present. My birthday's in June. I thought, I'll treat myself to a new Tiguan. So anyway, the money was coming in. I thought, right, I kept looking for this car, looking for the car, looking for the car. And the car didn't materialize in a local garage. I could have
Mm.
traveled far, but I don't like traveling far to look at a car. I thought, I don't want to travel for miles and miles and miles. I thought, I want something within like a 20-mile radius of where I live. And anyway, we were at the campsite. It was last August. So it was like a month and a half after my birthday passed, I thought I might need to broaden my horizons here with this car because it's not turned up. And it was August, we're at the campsite. And I remember it was absolutely lashing it down. It was just raining. The rain was pouring. It was pouring for a solid couple of days. Everywhere was muddy. The internet went off and it crashed. And I opened up Auto Trader on my phone and the internet crashed. This car had just come into a local garage 7 miles from where I live. It
Oh
was
my
the
God.
exact color. It was the exact model. It was the exact everything that I wanted. And I was like, and I said to my dad, because my parents have got a caravan next to us as well up there. And I said, oh, this car, it's there. It's at a local garage. It's literally
Yeah.
just come in. And he said, should we just pack up and just leave? We were leaving anyway later on today. It's absolutely throwing it down. Should we just pack up and leave and just go look at the car? So we did. And we went to the garage and took it out for a test drive. It was everything I wanted, like everything, all of the features it had, everything. I was like, it ticks all of the boxes. It was amazing to drive. Oh, it was just, it wasn't brand new, but I didn't want a brand spanking new anyway. I had a few thousand miles on the clock, but I thought that's great. It's going to get mucky by the kids and the dog and scratches and whatever. Anyway, it's a campsite. I thought, anyway, I was like, it's perfect. It's perfect. Like when we arrived to look at it first, it was the center car in the showroom. And at first when we were arriving, I thought it's not the best day to go look at a car in the rain because you can't see if there's any dents or scratches or anything on it. It was inside. It was in the showroom. It was the centerpiece. So we said to the guy, can you get it out for us? Can we take it for a test drive? So he did, and we did. And then we arrived back and there was people there waiting to test drive the car. And he said to me, what do you think? I was like, I want it. Like, and he looked at the people, he's like, I'm sorry, but I think she wants it. And he's like, how are you paying? I was like, cash. She was like, okay, let's do it now. So we did it now, got the car, and it was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that just shows like manifestation. Sometimes it doesn't happen as quickly as you want. Like I wanted that car for my birthday. My birthday was the end of June. I got it middle of August.
Yes.
But things are still working. Like timelines in the universe are so different to what it is here on Earth. And as long as you put it out there and you start taking the actions, like I was looking, I saved all these searches on Auto Trader and eBay and various different places for this particular car coming up in my area. And it was just so weird that the internet just crashed at the campsite just as I'd opened Auto Trader and this car was just stuck on my phone. It was weird.
Wow, wow, wow. That's totally the universe right there.
Oh,
I want to
yeah.
talk about the law of attraction and the law of manifestation because I believe it is critical.
Yeah.
But have you ever found that the people, maybe people you work with, or maybe even your own self as you were going, that we can have a vision for something, but then when we start to not see it manifest, we start to lower the expectation, okay?
Yeah.
And we say, well, then I guess maybe that was too much over here. So instead of this car, I'll settle for this car over here. We lower the expectation. Can you speak into that around
Absolutely.
manifestation?
Definitely. So I think a lot of the time it's more about who you are being. Like yourself, if you could visualize you having that. So me right now, okay, this holiday home in Italy, this lovely, it has to have a minimum of 6 bedrooms if I wanted to use it as a retreat villa as well. And also to have family members to come and stay. And it has to have a swimming pool. It has to have beautiful views. I've already got this ideal one on my vision board. And I'm like, right, it has to be something just like that. Yeah, there can be a few little tweaks here and there, but the non-negotiables, at least 6 bedrooms, at least a swimming pool, at least beautiful views, at least, all of these things that have to tick the box. Italy, I love Italy, it has to be Italy. So anyway, so I've got all of these things. And every day, I'm putting myself into my future self who already has that. So I'm like, right. And then I'm looking back and thinking, right, what would I have done to have achieved that? So it's about being the person first, because you can already be her. Like I can already show up as the person who's already got that. How would I act accordingly? How would I have been, how would I have been doing the things to make sure that that comes into my existence, like now? So if I was to look back, if I'm putting myself in my shoes in say 5 years from now and I've got this holiday home and I've got everything I want, what would I have done to have got that? What actions would I have taken? How would I have showed up? How would I have been? How would I have presented myself? How would I have dealt with certain situations? How would I have moved my business forward? How would I have, done all these things? How would I deal with certain things like say, for example, like trolls online? How would I have dealt with that?
Yes.
Like just swiftly move on. Like years ago, I would have let things like negativity and trolls and people saying bad things about me, I would have let that consume me. And I'd have felt like, oh, they've said bad things about me, whether it be like a past client or like whatever, a troll, just somebody who's come across me, somebody who's taken one of my courses who doesn't like my accent. I've had that a few times.
Because
Certain
of your
things.
accent? Are you serious? Oh my God. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not being offensive, but that's so, anyway, that feels so
Some
good.
people will just say things like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've had things say like, oh, you're not very professional. Okay, well, that's fine. I don't want to be. Certain things that people will say that used to get me down, but now I'm like, water off a duck's back. It's, yeah. I had somebody once say that I looked homeless because I did a lot of my videos in the caravan, because obviously I love caravan life and we're always away camping, touring, everything. And I will do some videos in the caravan. So somebody said, you shouldn't really do your videos in the caravan because it makes you look homeless. I'm like, okay, thanks for your unwanted advice, but this is
No.
my life. This is what I want to do. I like the freedom and the flexibility and the lifestyle. This is
Yeah.
what I do.
Yes. So when you say you be that person you want to become, are you imagining that person? Like, does it start in your imagination?
It
Then
starts in
does
your
it turn
imagination. So it
into
can
feel?
start with a vision board, but it has to go deeper than that. It's not just about looking at pictures and thinking, oh, I want that. I wish I could have that. That's nice.
Right.
It's like, right, then sort of like step into it. It's like, imagine yourself stepping into that villa. You're walking
Mm.
around the villa, like close your eyes if you have to. Like, I do this visualization every day. Close your eyes and just imagine yourself being there. How do you feel? Like, what's the flooring like? What does the place smell like? What are you doing? Are you having breakfast there? Are your family there? Are you going to have a nice morning dip in the pool? How cool's the water? How does it feel in your skin? What can you smell? Like, what
Mm.
trees? Can you hear the trees around you? Can you hear the birds? It's like really like closing your eyes and stepping into that vision. So when you step into it and you just imagine that you're already there, and it's the same, you know, when you get really, really excited when you're going on holiday, like
Yeah.
you've booked a holiday and you get excited, you can already see the pictures. You're like, oh, I can't wait to get on that beach.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
wait to sip that cocktail or mocktail or whatever. And you get so excited about it, even though you're not there yet. But the whole anticipation of it, the build up to it, like a kid at Christmas, is just so much more exciting sometimes than the thing itself. That is the feeling that you need to get into, like really stepping into that feeling of like, it's already done. It's already happening. You're already there, because your brain doesn't know the difference between what's reality and what isn't. And when you can already step into that, your brain, like the neural pathways, your brain will already pave the way. You'll already start to like imagine, if you like, and feel the fact that it's already there and it's already done and it's already in your existence.
Mm.
And there are already, and if you, I'm not going to get too deep on this because we could go off on a massive
You're
tangent here,
okay.
but if you can imagine not just our universe, but the multiverse out there. So lots of different universes out there. And if you can imagine yourself being in other universes, and this is, you know, it's quantum physics. I've been to see, I don't know if you know Professor Brian Cox. I've been to see him
I
so many
do.
times.
I
I
do.
love him
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh.
I
Love
love him so
that
much. And
guy.
he talks a
Yes.
lot about like wormholes and black holes, and time
Oh.
slows down at the end of a black hole. Wormholes, time speeds up, and there could be another universe, the multiverse, through different wormholes in our universe. So if you can imagine there being like a mirror of this universe in another one, and then another and another, but the timeline's been different. So if you can imagine that, and you can imagine yourself in another universe that's on a different timeline, there's already a version out there exists of you that already has everything that's pinned on your vision board that you are wanting to bring into your existence. So if you can already imagine it, if you can already feel yourself there and just tap into the fact that there's another version of you out there that exists, that already has this, then you can collapse those timelines. And it's all this whole quantum leaping. It's all of these expressions that come from this, because this is how you can collapse timelines. And this is how you can then tap into that vision. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's reality and what isn't. So if you can show up accordingly to the person who already has all of that and just start taking the actions as she would have done, you'll bring it into your existence. Like you will, because you're already taking the different actions. You're acting as the person who's already got all of those things.
Mm. So do you feel it into yourself? Meaning, what I mean by this is, let's see if I can explain what I'm saying. Because this is really good. I love talking about this stuff. And you went exactly where I was hoping you would go. So are all of the answers, would you say that all of the answers to take the necessary action to become that person are already inside of you, even if you don't know it yet?
Yeah, I think you already know the life that you are wanting to have. That's where it all starts. It's what life do you want to have? And this is going to be different for everyone. Some people will want a life of luxury, five-star hotels in Dubai and Bali and, you know, whatever. Some people will just more like be happy, like me, camp style life, just having lots of time with family, friends, having laughs by the river, in and out with little sticks and fishing nets and whatever. Like I love that kind of a lifestyle. But I also you know, I do love going to Disney World and Spain and various different places.
Sure, sure.
But it's what do you want and how do you want your life to look? Some people will be happy. Here's another pure example of this. Some people will be happy like having an office. Like right now I'm upstairs. I wouldn't thank anybody for an office. I can't sit still. This is my thing. I cannot sit still for, you know, longer than an hour. I struggle. And my husband's offered so many times the room that was converted from my first business into like my like little mini warehouse is offered so many times to change that into an office for me. I'm like, don't you dare. I do not want to be stuck in that office. But some people would love that. Some people love having an office and having lots of staff in an office. And it's just, what do you want your life to look like? Some people would want to have an office and like be people managing all day, that kind of thing. I wouldn't want that life. I want more of a life of freedom, free time, flexibility, spending lots of time with family, doing random things. Just, oh, should we go to the cinema tonight? Oh, let's go. What's on? Let's have a look. Let's just go to the cinema. You know, just like random things that, you know, some people would be more like, oh no, I couldn't go to a cinema on a Wednesday. No, it'd have to be a Friday or whatever. It's like everyone's life is different. This is the thing. And when you can get into the mindset of what you want your life to look like, then you can think, okay, are there tools that I need? Is the strategy that I need? Is there something that I need to support me with this journey? So
Mhm.
if somebody was to come to me and say, Camille, can you help me get like fill up my roster with lots and lots of one-to-one clients. I only want to work with people one-to-one. I'd probably recommend a different coach because I am more about the freedom lifestyle. So the way that I advise people is right. Let's do this in a way that allows you to, you know, only have to be working 4 or 5 hours a day maximum, less if you want to. And let's do this in a way that allows for the freedom, like time freedom lifestyle, not necessarily work 10-hour days and, you know, yeah, fill up your client roster, that kind of thing.
Sure.
So everybody wants different things, but it's more tuning into the life that you want first and then thinking, okay, what do I need to make this happen? So there may be pieces of strategy. I mean, there's always strategy that's missing. Like I'm always in different masterminds and different investments just to get more into the strategy of, right, how can I do this more in this way? I can see that this piece is missing. And I'm always investing into my knowledge to be able to do
Mhm.
things more in accordance with exactly how I want my life to look. So every time that vision changes on your vision board, every time you expand and want new things and think, oh, this is exciting, could I bring this into my reality? It's a massive stretch from now, but you know what? I can do this. I've done things like this before. I am doing this. I'm making it happen. What do I need to do to make it happen? How can I expand this more? Can I have this capacity? Do I need an extra VA? Yes, to be able to help with the capacity of people that I'm bringing in to then get me up to this level and blah, 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 blah. So sometimes it can be like, you know, the vision, you know, the life, you know what you want, but then there's, you know, there's obviously a gap between the actions that you need to take and the life that you need. And then it's finding the right person to help you with that. So it's, yeah. And then just sort of, I want to say like searching accordingly, but just doing your research. I've seen so many times that people have kind of, oh, I want to say the word being stung, but it's not necessarily always intentionally. Some people will say, they'll come to me and say, oh gosh, I wish I joined the accelerator sooner because I joined this other program. The way that she teaches to do it is you have to work 15 hours a day on Instagram to get all of these clients and to do all these engagement and to do all of this and this and this. I don't want to do it like that. And it's kind of more doing your own research before you then jump in with a coach. Like, right, how do they do it? How do they teach? What does it require of you? Of course, when you're initially building out courses and things, it can require more time for you building these things out on the front end to then make it more passive afterwards. But when the initial building's done, then it does become more passive. Or are you required to work 10-hour days on Instagram forever? Like find out, do your research.
Right, right. Now, I have discovered with you that your page, I just love it. It's full of it's exciting because you have an energy of excitement and passion and vision, and so it just kind of like lands on the person who's hearing. But
Oh,
but for someone like me, or someone like maybe a lot of people, we don't have marketing experience. There isn't that type of understanding of business or understanding of marketing. But you want to have a business, you want to market, but you also don't want to follow certain what is the word I'm looking for, ways of doing it that you see that aren't going right with you. How do you find out what type of marketing strategy is your marketing strategy?
what I would do is sit and look at, right, how much time are you spending with each of your marketing and business tasks, like business as a whole? Have a look at how much time you're spending and think, right, how can I cut down that time? Are people being too much of a perfectionist on, say, for example, making everything look pretty in Canva?
Oh,
A lot
yeah.
of the time when I look at, I'll say this to my clients all the time, like, break it down for me. How much time you spending on each task? Like, speed things up. Because when you take faster, messy action, my huge thing, take fast, messy action, then you're going to get quicker results.
Yeah.
If you can take faster action, I know some things need to be processed, of course, especially in the beginning to make sure you're building the right type of business. Don't run into something without first thinking about it and then be like, oh my God, I'm in a business that I hate, which was exactly what I was like in the first business that I
Yeah,
had.
sure.
It's like, right, really establish the life that you want to have first, really establish how you want things to look for you, then start to break things down. If you've already got a business right now, how long is it taking you to make social media content? If it's taking you like 2 hours a day, that needs to be cut to like half an hour. Like if it's taking you, say, for example, if you've got a carousel post, you're like, oh my gosh, and this is sometimes the conversations I'll have with my clients. It's taken me like 3 hours to put together this carousel. Right, let's scrap that. That needs to be a lot less. That needs to be half an hour max. Because when you've got this, and I've got like a whole process that I walk people through of how to create a carousel slide in whatever time. But anyway, when you can do it in like less time, that allows for more time to like build courses and things like that. That hour and a half that you're saving on not creating content as pretty and as fancy and as making it perfect. Like get away from the perfectionism, the messaging, getting the message out there. That's the most important. And then you can have more free time to be spending on building the passive stuff on the back end. And then you can have that in the links in your bio. Then you can be talking about that. People will come in, the money will come in. And it's just freeing up more time in areas of your business that you're taking too much time, like spending too much time creating content, for example, or engaging with people. It's freeing up more time so that you can create other things that are more passive and semi-passive in your business. And then it's like, right, okay, I've got much more free time now. I can then, move on with other marketing activities. If you know that your messaging's working right, I also teach Facebook ads, which just, fully automate everything. And then you can spend, like I do, like 6 weeks away in the 6 weeks holidays and barely even open your laptop. And it's just like everything, the leads and the sales are coming in automatically. And it's just, yeah, everything just works easier.
So do you have to use social media? I can
I
find
use
that
social
I have a
media
long
because I
take
use
with it.
Facebook and Instagram ads. But I do like to do a combination of both. If somebody was to click onto my Instagram, say for example, if I'm running an ad, I've got Facebook and Instagram ads running. If somebody was to then think, oh, I'm going to check her out and click on her Instagram, see if she's legit, click on my Instagram. If I've got no post there, then I'm going to look a bit of a hoax, aren't I? I'm going to look a bit like shady. But I always do a mixture of both. So I'll have a mixture going out. So even if I've got ads running, even if you've got 3 pieces of content going out to your grid that like each week, that's fine when the ads are running. If you're not running ads, yeah, the online world is so noisy. It's a case of being like visible every day. You're either trading your time or your money. That's the thing. So if you've got ads running, of course you're trading your money, but even ads, like I teach the £1 a day ads, they can get you thousands of reach a day for people coming into your world. They will do a lot of the heavy lifting for growing your audience than like you having to physically show up. Like, is £1 a day worth it for having these thousands of reach? Of course it is. And obviously you can target your audience in certain ways that you can do it. But yeah, I could go off on a massive tangent here as well, but there are
I
so
know.
many people that would say, don't waste your money on ads because they cost a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. They
That's
don't
what
know
I
how to do
wanted
ads
to ask
properly.
you. I've heard that
Yeah.
it costs like lots of money to run ads on Facebook and Instagram.
There's certain different ads that you can run where you only have to spend £1 a day. Like you don't have to spend a fortune. Like I'll spend more than that because I'll run things like purchase ads as well to mini offers and things. But to be able to have more like more reach and for people to see you more, to get yourself in front of the right people, if you like, your ideal clients, your dream clients, you can be running ads for £1 a day. So if you've got some amazing pieces of content, you can be running ads for £1 a day per piece of content, and then that will put it in front of thousands of people to really grow your audience. And yeah,
And you
I've
can
run
do
these.
that all by yourself, just by yourself. You don't
I
have,
do my ads myself. Yeah,
you do
I've
everything
got,
by
oh
yourself.
gosh, I want to say years and years worth of ads experience, and I've spent thousands and thousands and thousands. And a lot of my ads training came from when I was doing affiliate marketing back in the day, between me changing businesses and I was spending thousands of pounds a week on ads doing affiliate marketing. I learned lots and lots of different ways, lots of kind of intricate ways, but some of those ways are not necessary. The way that I do it now and the way that I teach is so simple. Like, right, these are the best ads for that. These are the best ads for that. And then a lot of my clients now are like, oh my gosh, What was I doing now before running ads? Like, this is crazy. I can spend so much more time doing other things with my family and things like that now, and not have to be showing up and doing all the engagement and hashtags and all of that stuff that you do on Instagram, because you don't have to when the ads are running. Like, people just come to you.
That's fascinating. Okay, so I know that we're getting ready here to close it. So there's a few other things I want to ask you. So let's talk about fast, messy action, because this is your thing.
Yeah.
And I know that some people have already asked me about it. What does this mean? What is that? Can you share?
Yeah, so when you take faster action and messy as well, fast, messy action, that's the name of my podcast as well.
I know, I love
Fast,
it.
messy action. This has been like my tagline in my accelerator. So my Client Attraction Sales Accelerator program, which started in January 2020, my tagline in there has always been about fast, messy action, fast, messy action. And my clients, even like years ago, will always come back to me and say, I always remember you saying this, and it sticks in my mind. Fast, messy action takers are the biggest money makers, because they are. When you take faster, messier action, get away from the perfectionism, just take fast, messy action, do things quickly, you get quicker results. When you get quicker results, you build the momentum more, you build the confidence more. Of course, certain things will need to be changed. Certain things like client delivery, if you're like, oh my gosh, I've like took fast, messy action with this, and now I'm finding that I'm on Zoom all day. Right, okay, let's change this around. And it's messy, but you know what? It gets quicker results. And when you get quicker results, you can adjust accordingly and really grow and just gain that momentum a lot quicker, grow your business a lot quicker, make more money a lot quicker. Whereas if you just like taking slow action and like pondering and thinking, I don't know whether or not this is the best way or this, just try it. Just jump in, right? Which way feels best for you right now? This way, right? Jump in, try it. If it's like, oh, okay, I want to adjust it a bit, adjust it as you go. Nothing has to be perfect. And I think that perfectionism is what keeps people like playing small, holding back. Just do things fast, do things messy. Just take fast action. Like when you do, things will start to materialize a lot quicker.
It sounds
I've
like
had a
to
lot.
me but is that you sound more authentic when you're doing it that way too. There have
Yeah.
been times where I've seen reels go up by people and they're just spontaneous. They're like right then, and it's like
Yeah.
boom, you're right in the energy. But then I've seen the planned reels, okay, and you can tell where the planned reels are, right? You know,
Yeah.
and it
Sometimes
just
things
doesn't
can
have
just
that
be,
energy.
yeah, sometimes things can just be like overly filtered and overly edited and things like that. And it's just like, yeah, like you said, it doesn't seem as authentic. It seems very curated. Well, you've seen my grid. It's very messy. Fast, messy action. My grid's messy, but
Yes.
it's fine. I want it to be that way. I show up and do spontaneous things. I'll share spontaneous reels. I'm like, oh, I've got a few like different clips from the campsite here. I'm just going to push it out into a reel to let people know what I'm doing. And again, it just shares that message of like freedom, flexibility, and me just sharing what it is that I'm doing, because this is the thing as well. Like when you're growing a personal brand, people need to get to know the real you behind the brand. It's not just about showing the professional side, like the professionalism. If you're not a professional person, like me, I know I'm like business mentor, but I'm not a professional type one. I'm not like, you know, stuffy professional one. I'm like, oh yeah, let's just have a laugh with this. I'm more about having fun. And I think this really, really shows through, like with the bright colors on my grid, about, you know, having lots of fun and freedom and flexibility and doing things the way that you want. And who cares if you mess up on your grammar, on your Instagram post? You know, I'll have the grammar police in my inbox. I'm like, I really don't care. And the message is still getting out there. Just do it quick and get it out there. And your people, the people who are right for you, will be magnetized to you and they'll come into your world.
Wow. Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So where can people find you, and what is it that you offer for everyone?
Yeah, so come and find me on Instagram. That's the main place that I hang out. Or you can listen to my podcast either way. So Instagram is at Camille Plews, all one word. That's it. And
I'll
then,
put it in the notes.
oh, thank you. And then the Fast Messy Action podcast as well is where you can find me talking a lot. Talking's my big thing that I do. It's I'm not really a writer, I'm a talker. So yeah, find me on Instagram. I've got, if you look at the links in my bio as well, I've got a visibility sprint that's completely free. So, and it teaches you to get more visible. If you're thinking, you know what, I'm not being visible enough, or maybe I am, but maybe there's something missing in my visibility strategy that I'm not really sure why people aren't coming to me. There's a free visibility sprint in there, and you get 7 days worth of tips as well, sent out via email to say, do this, change this, tweak that, do that, do that. Because these little tweaks are what really makes the difference in people coming to you and seeing you. And it doesn't matter if you're using Instagram, Facebook, whatever platform, this visibility sprint, it's for everyone, regardless of the platform.
Wow. Wow. Camille, I feel like I could just sit and chat and talk with you forever, but I also know I'm going to let you go as, we had decided. But I want to say thank you so much for just coming on here, just sharing a bit of your heart, sharing your passion, sharing your energy, sharing the vibrance that you carry. I always learn something new, and I know that my hearers are going to learn something new. You have a wealth of knowledge to you, but you make it so doable. And I just want to say that to you before I go, that you take this big, huge mess of a thing and kind of funnel it down and make it very doable. And
Yeah.
make it like, hey, you can do what I've done. You can have the life that you want to have. It is about stepping into your sovereignty, reclaiming, creating, doing all of that, quantum leaping, quantum jumping, collapsing timelines. It's all of it together, but you make it in a way that's understood. Like you are really there's a teacher to you. And I just want to say thank you for just taking the time to come on here and just be you and share what
Oh,
you do.
thank
And
you.
I
Thank
just
you
know
so
that
much. That's probably my 5 line, the teacher.
the five I was.
I'm a 5 1. Oh, we'll go off on another tangent with human design here.
I know, don't get me started. But seriously, thank you for being
Oh,
here.
thank you so much for having me on. It's been so great to chat.
All right. Have a good one,
Thank
Camille.
you, Ellen.
You're welcome.